And shout out to Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I was bogged down a little bit yesterday before the show. And I was supposed to be excited and happy, and I came in and I seen my, once I left the studio, because I didn't leave the studio until 7 p.m. last night. So usually I get into the studio somewhere between 5:30 and 6 because I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I make sure I brush my teeth, I pray, I jump in the shower, and then I head out and I get to the studio. And so I try to get to the studio before 6, okay? And then I left out at 7 p.m. last night because that was the time of my final Zoom call that I had, or the coaching call. And so I headed out and I shoot to the crib. And waiting for me at the house was this, right? It was my new Rolex, my Rose Gold Rolex. And I was supposed to be excited, right? Because I'm always usually excited when I get a watch because a watch represents a milestone that I've reached in my life. And anybody that has been a part of the Patreon, the Bag Chasers, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, or has been on coaching calls, or has been with me and rocking with me since I bought my first Rolex, I think in like 2017 over in Chicago, which was a Submariner date, by the way. Know that these mark milestones in my life, and so the opportunity to be able to get one when my authorized dealer called me is always a monumental moment because it's not about the watch itself and stunning, it's the representation of what it means, right? But I was a little bit bogged down, and when I walked in and I seen it on the counter and I moved it over and I just, I looked at it and then I just shut the box, and I anticipated not even wearing it today. I was just going to throw my Apple Watch back on. And the reason that is because on my way home, I had been informed of a man that was going through something specifically. And it was a guy that I'm familiar with, but, here or there. So I was informed from somebody else of what they was going through. And you combine that with the different conversations that I was having on the live stream last night. And the conclusion that I came to is that men really are not appreciated. And one of the things that you always going to find from me is me advocating for the right thing. I'm always going to advocate for the right thing. I'm an equal accountability partner. And so that means that I'm always open to the possibility that I'm wrong or being held accountable myself. Plenty of you have come up on the Friday shows and said, Anton, I disagree with you. But also on top of that, I push my guys and I hold them accountable much harder than I push the women. And that's the thing that women don't understand. And the reason that I do that is because out of love, it's important for me to do so because guys don't have a safety net, whereas women do. I had a conversation on the live stream last night, and I was emphasizing why it's important for a man to not put himself behind an 8-ball and under duress by marrying, or I'm never going to give a guy an advice on why he should marry a single baby mama. And it's not that the mother is a bad person or that I'm not also okay with the fact that she get whatever it is that she can attract. But at the same time, in good conscience, I can't give you that advice to do that because I don't want to put you in a worse position had you not made that decision to talk to me in the first place. And the reason that is because men are largely unappreciated. And I was so inspired to go to task about this issue yesterday because prior to jumping on the live stream, one of the things that was communicated to me was a young guy or a young boy had told a step baby daddy or a guy that was in a relationship that you not my daddy. Now, what is he supposed to do? Endure, see it through for the good of the community? Have we not been doing that since our existence on this earth? Have we not been enduring? And that's what we do from the time that we open up our eyes all the way to the time that we close them. We came into this world by ourselves. We definitely going out by ourselves. Have we not been enduring for the entirety of our existence? I want to take an opportunity to acknowledge you. Every man that is listening to this and they on their way to work. Every guy that was supposed to get 8 hours of sleep because that's the recommended amount, but you only sleep in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes some of y'all don't even sleep because you're trying to figure it out. For every guy that make the sacrifice to take care of somebody else's child, even though I don't advocate for it, let me give you some credit. For the men that do some of the hardest jobs in our society, but they're largely never acknowledged for it, and they just say, okay, well, that's what you're supposed to do. How many of y'all have always heard or hear regularly that that's what you're supposed to do? Oh, that's just what men are supposed to do. There's been a spate of guys, and I don't know where they getting this feminine behavior and this feminine energy from, but there's been a spate of guys that's been popping up on social media, and all of these gossip blogs and sites have been picking it up, and they keep trying to emasculate you and tell you what you ain't, but they ain't telling you what it is that you can be. Let me give you a little bit of insight today. Let me give you a little bit of acknowledgement today. Let me also say that regardless of the fact that she don't say that she love you until you tell her first, I love you. And the reason that I love you is because I know that this society would be nothing without us. If you have never been acknowledged, and if nobody is there for you, or you one of the strong friends, or you the strong ones that everybody all depend on, but nobody actually comes to and asks how you doing, or they really sincere or genuine in helping you and seeing and checking on your mental health and your well-being, while somebody else or some simp dude is over here trying to sell a product, trying to talk about how you're not a man because you're not necessarily going for the idea of being used for resources in order to then help somebody else continue to leapfrog off of you and then move into whatever it is that you want to do. Just because you're not a sucker don't mean that you're not a man. Let me just make sure that I acknowledge you right now. Oh, you not rich yet. And so they want to talk about you like you less than. I jumped in an Uber this morning because I went and parked my car, and I like to walk around in the city and get a whiff of it and really take in and live in the present, live in the moment before I get into the office, right? And I was talking to the guy, and shout out to Lorenzo. I told you I was going to shout you out during the show. Shout out to Lorenzo. And we was kicking it, right? And he said, Anton, I got my podcast together, and, I know you big dog, though, so, I ain't trying to be, you know what I'm saying, on that move, so I ain't going to try to ask you for nothing or nothing like that, but I'm going to see you on the way up. And I said, let me tell you something, bro. You out here and you getting it before the sun come up. And you making sure that you take care of your family. And we had a conversation about his family and his girl and all of this other type of stuff and his kid. And he was telling me about his dreams and his aspirations and things like that. And I just wanted to let him know, hey, man, look. And when I get into an Uber or when I jump into a situation, I always tip before we even start driving, because I want to let them know that, listen, I appreciate you. And I told him repeatedly. And I also had a conversation with him and I gave him advice. And then I told him, listen, bro, I'm just a regular guy just like you, and I grind just like you. I'm very thankful because it's people like you that then give me the motivation to continue to do what I do. And hopefully I added some value into you more than whatever it was that I can tip you while you getting me over into my destination. Because without you, you are a big piece of the puzzle of what it is that we continue to do right in society. And very few men actually get the acknowledgement from the people that actually depend on them every single day. Shout out to the panelists last night, because one guy tried to tell me, hold on. Yeah, that's really a thing. See, a lot of people think, me, I like to bring up the receipts. A lot of people think that, shout out to my dog, Lorenzo. Zoe right there. I'm even tired of getting thrown off by these other dudes that's hating on other dudes, even in the chat. I'm having a smaller tolerance every day from people that continue to hate on other people just because they not necessarily there yet. Why would a man hate on another man? Don't men go through enough, and that the things that they got to do every single day? When I was talking to Lorenzo, the thing that he said to me is, he said, yo, Anton, when I was talking on my podcast and I broke down the amount of time that men, specifically, he said men, he said the amount of time that men, after they do every single thing that they have to do in order to make sure that they take care of the people that surround them, they only really have about 3 to 4 years of their own life. Out of 78 years, he broke this down to me in the car, and we had a deep dive. And he said, Anton, don't you know that the average man lives about 78 years? And I don't know. I didn't fact check it. I'm just telling you what it is that he was telling me. He said the average man lives about 78 years. And after he get done going to the bathroom and taking his kid to this and going to work every day and taking care of business and doing this and doing that, and he went through a whole spate of things, and he already had it. And that's how I know that he was passionate about what it is that he do. And he's very, very careful. And he going and he taking his 9 to 5, and then he do his second job, and then he do his gig work and all of this stuff. He said the average man has about 3 years of his entire life to be able to do the thing that he want to do for himself that somebody else is not requesting of him. Of 78 years, now this is the information that he presented to me. Of 78 years of your life, you have 3 to 4 years to yourself. That means 74, 75 years on average of your life you allocating towards the needs of other people. And you can't even get a thank you. You can't even get a I love you. You can't even get a head nod when you come into the crib. You can't even get the big piece of chicken because you're going to be prioritized last over the people. Yo, it's people that's literally having conversations about who deserved the big piece of chicken as though that should even be a conversation or a consideration. That should be a standard. Go and do the research. Go and look it up. Because when he broke it down to me, it really started to hit home. And it's the reason why I really live in the moment, and I advocate and I go so hard about what it is that's right for society. And I try to tell y'all how it is you could be successful in whatever it is that you're doing, because so many men are not acknowledged and they not recognized, and they're underappreciated, and they do the hardest jobs, and they keep your homes powered, and they built the infrastructure and all of these tall buildings that you see, and all of this stuff that you see happening in society is for your benefit. And the only thing you can say to this man is, what more can you do for me that I can't do for myself? Wars was fought. Blood was spilled. Borders drawn. Legislation. Fights. Everything that you can possibly think of has been done and then fought for on the behalf for you, so you can then sit there and tell us what it is that he isn't. And then he got to hear it from his own brothers. Because you're not even giving him no game on how it is that he can be better. All you doing is just trying to tear him down. I acknowledge you, even if your girl don't. I acknowledge you, even if your friends don't. I acknowledge you, even if your people don't. I recognize your greatness, and I don't expect anything from you, which is one of the reasons why I'm so appreciative of y'all rocking out with the Millionaire Morning Show right now. Don't let nobody, including a woman or another simp, try to tear you down and tell you that you ain't a man. You every bit of it. Some of you may be going through a transition and that you're trying to understand what your purpose is. That's okay. You're going to get there. The apex of what it is that you become don't even come even close to where you at right now. So it's okay. Let them talk. Let them talk. But what I also want you to understand is that you need to have standards and preferences, just like the people that's expecting something from you. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to do the thing that's best for you. And the things that's best for you is usually best for your society, your community, and the people that surround you. It's okay for you to be all right, bro. For you to do the thing that's in your best interest. Real talk. It's okay. It's a lot of guys Every single day, you go out there and you kill yourself a little bit more for the people that you love, and they're going to sit there and tell you what it is that they ain't going to tolerate. They going to tell you what they ain't going to tolerate. The next time that a woman tell you what it is that she is going to do, then make her stand on it. The next time that somebody threaten you, it's okay to walk away because you got to preserve that inner peace because you got a limited amount of time. Look, you know why it's so important for me to even just skip over some people and not even acknowledge them? Because I only got a finite amount of time that I can allocate for myself. Why would I waste it on people that don't add value into my life? That's what men need to start waking up and realizing. The minute that you let them be to their own devices is when they start to acknowledge your greatness. And so you got to do what's best for you because ain't nobody going to do you better than you. Because they don't appreciate it until you gone. Admire me from afar. Admire me from a distance because I'm never going back. I'm never going back. And so every day that somebody try to tear you down, because the world is going to do it anyway, because that's the nature of life. It's a competition. Regardless of whether you like it or not, it's always going to be a competition. And so the world beats you up enough. Don't let the people that say that they love you do it also in the name of love. That's not love. That's not love. When the person that you lay next to every single day ain't got your back because they say that they do and they say that they love you, and then on the flip side, they do the thing that's not in your best interest, and then they say, but I care for you, and that's why I'm hurting you. That's not love. And it's okay for you to love yourself because you met your expectation. Your kids is big now. You've done your due diligence, and now it's time for you to live and not for everybody else live for you. And whatever it is that they benefit from as a result of being around you, then let them be blessed as a result of it. But you got a purpose. You got something that you're supposed to do. You have things that you have to take care of. And it's not for them, it's for you. Stop pedestalizing other people and putting them before your purpose. You blessed. Be blessed. Be acknowledged. I'm thankful. Be around people that actually can see your greatness and see the opportunities for you to continue to grow, and then you nurture that within you and you align yourself with people that's going in the direction that you're going in. And any woman that feel the need to tell you what you ain't, leave her where she is. I'm going to say that one more time because that may go over your head. Any woman that feel the need to tell you what you ain't, leave her where she is. And I don't care what the woman's role is in your life. It could be your mama, your sister. It could be your grandmother. It could be the very woman that you land next to every day. Stop pedestalizing other people. You are a king. Operate like so. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Oh, I'm gonna cook up on a Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, it's gonna be something epic.